Hello viewers, yes, this is Ranjana ma'am and you are watching Yes, it's mine as well as your channel. So many of you had been complaining, ma'am, no Macbeth for at least a month. So here I am, Act 3 Scene 2, and yes, I know the thumbnail says it all, but still I keep on telling you. So yes, what are we waiting for? But before I start, you know what's coming. If you have not subscribed to my channel up till now, please do, and don't forget to press the like button once you've done it. So in Act 3 Scene 2, what do we find? Macbeth has already become the king, and now it is his plan to murder murder Banquo. Why? Because he knows that Banquo suspects him, because he had heard what the witches had prophesied. The witches had prophesied that he would be king hereafter. So it's very natural that Banquo should suspect that Macbeth had a hand in the murder or assassination of Duncan. So another reason why he wants to bring an end to Banquo is because of the witch's prophecy that you shall not be king, but your children will be kings. So he feels that, have I killed Duncan for the sake of Banquo's children? So Banquo has to be eliminated. And you know, in Act 3 Scene 1, he had brought the two murderers out of prison, and he had filled them with a lot of poison in their minds against Banquo. He had provoked them, incited them against Banquo. So now they are planning a banquet, a dinner party. Macbeth has thrown a dinner party to celebrate his becoming of the king. The lords have been invited, so has Banquo been invited, and the plan is that the murderer should be waiting in the darkness of the night trying to kill him. And here we find Macbeth, and first we find Lady Macbeth and then Macbeth. In Act 3 Scene 2, the same, another room. Enter Lady Macbeth with a servant. Is Banquo gone from court? So Lady Macbeth is inquiring of the servant whether he has left the court or not. So what does the servant say? "Ay, madam, but returns tonight, again tonight." So he affirms that yes, Banquo has gone from the court, but he will be returning tonight. Lady Macbeth, say to the king, I would attend his leisure for a few words. So now that Macbeth has become the king, even Lady Macbeth needs the permission of Macbeth to meet him. So she is sending her servant, just tell the king that I want to talk to him when he is free, when he is at his leisure. I want to speak to him. Madam, I will. So the servant leaves. Knots had all spent, where our desire is got without content. It is safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. So Lady Macbeth's speech is quite important. So she says, we don't gain anything and lose everything. We don't gain anything, and rather in the process we lose everything when we realize that our ambition does not give us any mental satisfaction, when our ambition does not satisfy our mind, or it doesn't satisfy our mind, then we don't gain anything. Yes, that means, what does she mean? That mental satisfaction is the best thing. When you are mentally satisfied, you are a happy person. And when you are not mentally satisfied, whatever you do, you really lose. That means when you lose your peace of mind, you don't gain anything. So it is better to be the person whom we have killed than to kill and at the same time continue to live in a state of insecurity. So in that case, who is a happy person? Duncan. Duncan does not need to bother about the remaining of his life because he is dead. And who are the ones? Those who have attained the king's post and the queen's post, they are the ones who are living in a state of insecurity, doubtful joy. So their joy is not secure. Now Macbeth comes. Enter Macbeth. How now, my lord, why do you keep alone of sorriest fancies your companions making? Using those thoughts which should indeed have died, with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done. This is when Lady Macbeth says, what's done is done. That means when we have done something, we cannot undo it. So she talks to Macbeth. Macbeth, she had sent the servant to say that she wanted to have a few words with her husband, or rather the king, and Macbeth comes. So she is asking him, what is the matter? And then she is asking him something more, that why do you keep to yourselves alone? Why are you brooding over these horrible things? Macbeth is imagining horrible things and he's brooding over them. So she is asking him, why do you do all these? So why are you breeding those thoughts in your mind which should have ended with the persons whom you have killed? You are thinking about Duncan's death. So your thoughts should have died immediately after killing Duncan. But no, your thoughts are still continuing. The man is dead and gone, but you are thinking. So the things which cannot be cured must be endured. Don't we say that? So here also, when we cannot do something, cannot bring a remedy to some problem, then it's better to leave it. What has been done, we cannot undo it again. That means Duncan has been murdered. We cannot bring him back to life anymore. We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. So what does Macbeth say to her words? Macbeth says that yes, we have injured the snake, but we have not killed it. The injury will heal up in the course of time, and the snake will again regain its strength and be as dangerous as it had been in the past, as dangerous as before. Whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. So our attack had been a weak attack, that is why we have injured the snake. We have not been successful in killing it. So our weak attack is again in the danger of her poisonous fangs. Why? The best thing would have been to kill the snake. We did not. We were not able to kill the snake. Snake is injured. The injury will heal up and she will become as poisonous as before. So we will remain in danger of the poisonous tooth of the snake. But let the frame of things disjoin, both the worlds suffer, or we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of those terrible dreams that shake us nightly. So he says that let the whole universe fall into pieces. Let the heaven and earth feel sad before we eat our meal in fear and sleep in fear of those terrible dreams that trouble us or haunt us at night. Better be with the dead whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Now he feels who is a more fortunate person. Duncan is better. So he says that it would be really better to be with the dead. In order to gain our mental peace, we have sent him to peace. We have not gained mental peace by killing him, rather we have sent to peace. He is the person who is at peace at this moment, because death ends all your troubles and anxieties and worries and problems. So that person is at peace, not we. We are not at peace. In order to get our mental peace, we killed him, but we rather sent him to peace, not us. Because with the death of Duncan, the real trouble for Macbeth starts. His problems don't come to an end. His becoming the king means the beginning of all his problems, aggravating of his problems. Now he has to kill Banquo also, then Banquo's son Fleance also, and all those whom he considers dangerous to his throne, to his crown. He will have to go on killing them also. So which one would have been better? Let Duncan had been the king and he would have remained the most honored and respected general. That would have been a better one. He was living in peace, but this vaulting ambition robbed him of his peace of mind, and now he envies Duncan. Duncan seems to be in a peaceful state, not he. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further. So he considers Duncan now to be a lucky man. So Duncan is dead. He is lying in peaceful ecstasy. So he says he is sleeping in peace, and after having suffered a life of restlessness, yes, he was the king. There were rebellion inside his kingdom, outside there was attack from the neighboring countries. So he is now in a state of peace. He doesn't need to bother about these problems. His problems have come to an end. His sufferings have come to an end. Yes, before death, treachery has killed him, has treated him in a treachery inside the kingdom, treachery outside the kingdom, treachery coming from the person from whom he had never expected it. So he suffered a lot on account of treachery. He suffered a lot, but all these sufferings have ended in his death. So now think of sword, poison, domestic hostility like coming from Macdonald, foreign troops, the king of Norway, none of them can hurt him. Why? Because he is dead and gone. So he doesn't need to suffer on account of these things. He doesn't need to be worried about someone hitting him with a sword or a dagger. He does not need to worry that he might be given a poison drink. Why? Because he has gone beyond all this. Lady Macbeth, come on, gentle my lord, sleep up, open your rugged looks, and be bright and jovial among your guests tonight. So Lady Macbeth gives him a piece of advice, and she tries to calm him. So she says, my lord, try to bring your thoughts in your control, compose your worried face, appear cheerful and happy in front of your guests tonight. Yeah, because today is the banquet. So she gives a piece of advice to Macbeth that appear happy and calm and peaceful in the presence of your guests. So shall I love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, and make our faces wizards to our hearts, disguising what they are. Now it is Macbeth who is giving pieces of advice. That means he doesn't confide even in Lady Macbeth. Now he has already given orders to those two murderers to kill Banquo, and that is not what he is telling Lady Macbeth. So what does he tell Lady Macbeth? First he tells that yes, I will also put up a happy and cheerful face, peaceful face at the party tonight, and I request you also to do the same and pay special attention to Banco. Whereas he knows Banco will never reach the party. Why? Because he will be killed on his way back. He will be killed, but he doesn't tell that. That means he doesn't trust anyone. So he doesn't tell Lady Macbeth also that he has planned the murder of Banco. So what does he advise her? He tells that give him special attention, show him honor by looking at him, going and speaking to him. Since we are insecure, we must try to insecure. Why? Because they know that their crown is insecure. Malcolm and Donalbain have run away, so Macbeth cannot kill them, and the real heir to the crown is Malcolm. However, he tries to put the blame on Malcolm that he is the one who had hired these two guards to kill Duncan, but in the heart of his heart he knows that many of the people would not believe him that Malcolm could be the murderer. There are many of the lords suspect him of foul play. So his crown is insecure. So he says, and he knows that Banco is a great danger to him. So that is why he says that while we are insecure, we must try to look in a clean manner. Why? Yes, and overshower the others from whom we feel insecure with a lot of flattery. So before whom does he feel insecure? He feels insecure before Banco. So he is advising Lady Macbeth that shower him with a lot of flattery and let our faces hide our feelings which are within us. This is what Lady Macbeth had told while she was telling Macbeth to murder Duncan, that look like the innocent flower but be the serpent inside it, or your face is an open book where men may read strange matters. And here Macbeth is advising Lady Macbeth that whatever feelings are there in our heart, let us hide it with words of flattery. Lady Macbeth, you must leave this. So she says that give up such thoughts. She doesn't know that Macbeth is planning further murder. Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife, thou knowest that Banco and his fleance live. So Lady Macbeth, when she tells Macbeth to dismiss these thoughts, so Macbeth says, yes, my mind is full of scorpions. They are troubling me. What? Suppose scorpion stings you, how will you feel? So my mind, so these thoughts are like scorpions, they are not letting me be peaceful. I cannot dismiss these thoughts. They are like scorpions biting me, stinging me. Don't you remember Banco and his son Fleance, they are alive. But in them, nature's copy is not eternal. So Lady Macbeth says that, but they don't seem to be immortal. It's not that God has made them immortal, or it's not that nature has made them immortal. There is comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons, the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note. But he doesn't say what is that dreadful thing which will be done. So Macbeth here is becoming more frightening than Lady Macbeth. It was Lady Macbeth who had taken everything in her hands during the murder of Duncan, but at this time it is very opposite. He doesn't openly tell also Lady Macbeth at this moment about the murder of Banco. He just gives her a hint. So he says that yes, what you have said that they are not immortal, these words are very comforting. Yes, they are mortal, so they can be killed. So you also be cheerful, you also be happy. And before the bat is a creature of the night. So before the bat begins its flight round the cloistered churches, before the beetle has been called by Hecate. Hecate is the goddess of the witches. So before she summons the beetle, and the beetle starts its humming, which makes people fall asleep at night. So the buzzing of the beetle, something like this, and lull people to sleep. Before all these have been done, that means before people go to sleep, something horrible will be committed. Something very terrible will be done. The hint is to the murder of Banquo. What's to be done? So I told you she is unaware of Macbeth's plan. So what does Macbeth say? Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. So yes, you remain innocent of what deed is to be done till you get news of its being done. At this moment, it is a plan. It has not been carried out. So remain innocent. There is no need for you to know what is going to happen. Let the deed happen and then you will know. And then applaud the deed, and once the deed is done, praise it. So he is not ready to tell her of the deed also. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, with thy blurry and invisible hand. Cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. So now he is telling night. Night is being personified. He is calling upon night. Why? So close the eyes of that loving day. So the eyes of that day, close the eyes. That means he is calling upon night. When night comes, what happens? Day as if goes to sleep. Day is not awake. Day goes to sleep and night keeps awake. Night's time to do the work. Night's time to keep night's time to be in the world, and day's time is to sleep at this moment. So, and then he as if tells night, with its invisible murderous hands, cut into pieces the life which keeps me in a state of great fear. That means he wants that in the darkness of the night, let the murder of Banquo be committed. Why? Because Banquo alive is a source of danger to him, and it keeps him in a state of continuous or perpetual fear. So that is why he wants night to come, so that the deed can be committed. Light thickens, and the crow makes wings to the rooky wood. Then he observes the sky outside. So light is becoming pale. Light is becoming pale or hazy, and the crow is going back to its nest in the woods. When the birds return to their nest, what is it symbolic of? It is symbolic of day ending. So the twilight, day ending and night about to begin. So that time the birds return to their nests. Good things of the day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee go with me. So he keeps Lady Macbeth in a state of suspense. He doesn't tell her what the deed is. So he says that all the positive or the good things of the day, they begin to fade away, and the evil spirit of the night becomes dominant. It starts chasing its victims. Most crimes are committed in the night. And then Lady Macbeth looks at him in a surprised manner. So he says, you look surprised at what I am saying. So please wait for some time. Things which have begun in a bad manner, they can be made secure or strong by doing worse deeds. So what does he mean? Things begun bad means the things have begun with the murder of Duncan. And we will make ourselves secure by murdering Banco. Why? Because if Banco is the only potent danger. Why? Because there is something in him which rebukes, in Banco which rebukes him, in the same way as Julius Caesar's spirit seemed to be rebuked by Mark Antony. Earlier Macbeth had said this. And then he tells Lady Macbeth, so yes, I request you to come with me. So this is where your Act 3 Scene 2 comes to an end. So we find that Lady Macbeth is unaware. Macbeth has not told her about the plan, that he has hired 2 assassins to murder Banco and his son Fleance. Here he drops a hint and he tells, let the deed be done and you can applaud, you can praise the deed later once it is done. But he doesn't tell what it is. So he keeps Lady Macbeth in a state of suspense. And it could also be that he doesn't want that anyone should know about his murderous plans. If his ladies, they are weak and she might blurt it out to someone, he wants to keep this a secret between him and the 2 murderers. So this is where your Act 3 Scene 2 comes to an end. Bye for the time being, and don't forget the like. This is a short scene.